thought I was going to drown at 30. Jesus. Well, in my desire to go out and shoot different animals with a bow, I've put myself in some dangerous situations. And I don't want to bore you with all of them, but here's a couple where the guides had said, Fred, you have to do this, or Fred, don't do this, or Fred, don't get too close to a huge buffalo in wide open terrain where we can't cover you with a firearm, or to where you can't jump up a tree if it crawls up a tree. And in this situation, my guide was not tickled because I had slid out in this grass to get really close to this Asiatic buffalo. And he said, Fred, we've had people charged with rifles where it's taken multiple shots with large bore, like 470 Nitro Express rifles to put these giant Asiatic buffalo down. Please don't get out there too close to them with a recurve bow in case something happens. Well, you know me. Fortunately, I did not get charged by an Asiatic buffalo. Although there were a few times, the pucker factor was pretty high. But on this hunt, I was leopard hunting in Zimbabwe. We were after this leopard because it had gone into this village and killed a donkey right outside of a guy's hut. So they came to us and said, can you please get this leopard? So we were after it. Of course, me, I wanted to shoot it with my recurve. I shot it with the recurve, thought it was a good shot right behind the shoulder. As we came around to get another shot, the leopard saw us and it literally just picked me out and came straight for us. Nice shot. Nice shot, Nico. The dogs, well, they parted like the Red Sea. It was like, have at them, we're out of here. And fortunately, Nico, who was my guide, made a pretty incredible shot. He was shooting double-aught buck with a 12 gauge, and all 9 .32 caliber slugs hit that leopard in the forehead. The leopard was coming so hard, when he shot it, it was interesting because the leopard's head went down with the foot-pounds of energy, and the leopard's back end came over the front. And I was backing up, and the leopard's tail hit me in the foot. So, little bit of a close call there. But those are some of the crazy situations, well, I've managed to get myself into. Like I said, some were self-inflicted, some weren't. Nice shot. Nice shot, Nico. So another thing that I really enjoy doing is calling in predators. I've used mouth calls to call in all kinds of different predators. Red fox, gray fox, swift fox, coyotes, badgers, bobcat, a little bit of everything. But one of the fun things to call in is big game. And when I say big game, like black bears, grizzly bears, brown bears. And I've had some luck calling in all kinds of different big game animals as well. In this situation, I've got a buddy of mine behind me. It's Clint from Kispiox River Valley, and he is blowing the mouth call, and sometimes we'll alternate where both of us will call back and forth. I'm up in front with the Rossi lever action 4570 because when you call a black bear in, it can get pretty exciting. And I've had clients that literally did not like it when bears came in way too close. Well, in this situation, this bear comes in pretty close. He is popping his teeth. He's not super happy. He's close. When I say close, that bear is under 10 yards, and he's popping his teeth on a little log. I'm looking at this bear going, I know how fast this bear can cover this country. I have got to shoot this bear right now. Well, you can see I am using a Rossi lever action 4570 with a 325 grain Hornady FDX bullet. So I was able to actually shoot through the tree and still take that bear. That bear was right here, popping his teeth, raising up. Pop, 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 pop. Good gosh, that's awesome. But what was fun about calling black bears is we knew they were coming in. We were trying to call black bears, and it was a great situation because bears were coming in, and it was exciting and fun, like the one I just showed you. But when you're set up calling for small game and big game comes in, sometimes you're not quite ready for it. Well, in this situation, I had Tim running camera for me. We started out my Western Rivers electronic call. But we're set up calling, and I'm hoping that a coyote or a bobcat's gonna slip in. We catch move it, and what comes in? But a beautiful mountain lion. And when this mountain lion runs up, it is super close to Tim and my client. Again, probably in that 10-yard range, and you'll see the lion is not scared. It runs up to my Western Rivers call, and it sounded real enough for this mountain lion to come running right up to it. When the lion gets to the call, you can almost see it thinking like, they got me. It's not real. And the lion looks at the client, and then you can see it look right at Tim. And I thought, this could get a little sketchy. And what's amazing about large apex predators, this lion never ran off. It turned and walked off like, I know you're there. I'm not gonna jump on you today. I'm just gonna slowly walk off and try to regain some of my pride because you duped me with the electronic call. But that situation, well, you got an excited, worked up mountain lion that's coming in for an easy meal. That could have gone south pretty quick for Tim or my client because I was hiding behind the tree. I wasn't gonna let it get me. As I mentioned, calling predators in can be fun and super exciting. And I love calling in all kinds of predators. But on this situation, I got downright scared. I was calling where some of the largest predators in the world live. Kodiak Island, Alaska, home to the giant coastal brown bear. People get eaten out there regularly. Brown bears make a habit out of snacking on people. They've killed people, attacked people, mauled people, the whole 9 yards. So I told the captain of the boat that I was gonna go to shore because I wanted to use a mouth call to call in some fox. He said, Fred, hey, it's a non-guided hunt. You can do whatever you want. I'm just a transporter and I'll drop you out on the beach. But he said, I will tell you this, you're probably gonna wanna bring them back up and just kind of be careful. There's some big, huge brown bears on this island and you don't wanna get eaten by one. So my cameraman hears this and Sean's like, And Sean's from Minnesota. He's no dummy. And he's like, I don't really wanna get eaten by a brown bear, Fred. You got this covered? I'm like, yeah, Sean, no problem. I got it. I'm gonna take a shotgun for backup, take my recurve, and hopefully we'll shoot a fox with a recurve. I'll take a shotgun too in case we want to shoot one with a shotgun. I can shoot 2 fox. Let's see how it goes. He goes, no. I mean the brown bears. You got that part covered. I'm like, oh yeah. So our first setup goes awesome. Man, I'm wailing away. Mouth call. I've got an open stretch of beach so I can see. So if a brown bear comes in, charging into the call, we have time to react and we can deal with the situation. And a red fox comes running up, payowie, and I shoot it. Perfect situation. It worked so good, in fact, that I decided I wanted to go again. I'm like, let's go again. Let's go do this again. And our second time, again, I pick a beautiful chunk of beach where I can see all the way down the beach. This is an important part of this situation. I can see all the way down the beach. Everything's great. We're not gonna get in a bind because if a brown bear happens to come into the call, I've got Sean behind me. He's watching our 6. He's watching down the beach the other way. I've got a big cliff, so it's not like a brown bear can come running at me from the cliff side. I can see down the beach here. We're totally covered. The other part's ocean. We're good. So, again, this time I take the mouth call. I am leaning up on a rock. I hope my editor can show you this. I'm leaning on the rock and I'm wailing away on the mouth call, hoping a fox is gonna show up. All of a sudden, now you have to give me credit, you gotta give me the benefit of the doubt here. Look at what happened. Jesus. Don't move. All of a sudden, in my face, I can see all the way down the beach. I don't even know how this thing got there. In my face is this, I just see fur, and it makes a noise. I freaked out, and I did the absolute worst thing you could do. I jumped away from both my weapons. Jesus. Don't move. Both of them. Shotguns leaning against the rock. Bows leaning against the rock. What do? Ah! And I jump backwards. It scared the bejesus out of me. I mean, bad. Jesus. Don't move. And it was a fox. But the fox, unlike a brown bear, was able to run down the cliff and came around. And when I first saw it, it was like right here, right on top of me. So I freaked out a little bit. Fox, it's like, okay, that's not an animal I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna get out of here. So it starts to take off. So grab the shotgun, come around the corner, and got a beautiful silver fox and a black color phase. They call them silver fox, but a lot of them are black. Beautiful fox. Holy chowder. Did you see that? That thing almost bit me. That fox came up to bite me. That's a beautiful silver. This fox came up and almost ate me. But please don't judge me, because I think had you been there, you would have been just as scared as I was. Holy chowder. Dude, that would get the old ticker going. That was, dude, did you freak out a little when I started to back up and leave the bow with the shot?
Fine.
You were fine. Yeah. You could have got a grease TV in my butt with a hammer. I just saw black go right up. I was like, whoa, something's gonna hit me in the chest. And he almost did. He was that close to pouncing on me. I was almost killed by a fox, basically, is what I'm trying to say. That's another huge snake. So I don't do smart things a lot. Like, I enjoy catching rattlesnakes. I haven't been bit yet, but I'm sure one day we will show you video of me getting bit by a rattlesnake. Whoa. But there's just different things I like doing. And it seems like, again, sometimes it's not my fault I get in these situations.
There you go. There you go. He's not really happy with me right now.
Your chin. There you go. Now take your hands away.
No, I'm good.
Take your hands away. That's what I'm talking about right there, brother.
And this next one, I was actually down with a really good friend of mine, Al, down in Florida, and he's an alligator control trapper. That's what he does. And I had some amazing hunts with him. I had shot alligators with recurves and crossbows and rifles and all this great stuff.
My man!
And we went out to go trap a couple alligators that he had gotten a call out of. And we got them. Awesome time. Got the alligators caught. And we did what you normally do, which is wrap tape around the mouth. Since Al caught these alligators in town and I was helping him out, we couldn't kill them. We were in the city limits. So we wrapped tape around their mouths, wrapped tape around their feet. Everything was all hunky-dory. Everything was hunky-dory, at least until the alligator managed to, like Houdini, wiggle out of his little foot wrap, unbeknownst to us, and managed to rub the tape off his mouth, also unbeknownst to us. So when Fred goes walking by a little bit later, the alligator jumps across another alligator and bites me by the knee. Now, the first thing is it's sheer chaos. And I remember hearing screaming, ah, ah, and I realized it was me. I was screaming. The alligator had me by the knee and I was freaking right out. And an alligator, you don't just pull them right off your knee. I grabbed it by the mouth and I'm trying to like, and I cannot get this alligator to open his mouth. Fortunately, the alligator went to, almost like a dog, you know, you think of a dog that regrips something. The alligator went to like get another little chomp on my knee there, and I managed to get this alligator off me. Now, then the problem was, I guess alligator bites are super septic. So then I had to worry about all kinds of infection, had to go to the hospital. That was a bad deal. No fun at all. Fortunately though, the wonderful people at Shands Hospital fixed me right up. Man, they fixed tendons and muscles and all this stuff. I was left with kind of a bad scar, but it's kind of a cool thing to show at parties. So another one I've got to share with you is when I was hunting in the Yucatan Peninsula. I went there for ocellated turkey because I wanted to finish out the World Slam with a recurve on turkeys. And I did that. That was pretty cool. Beautiful turkey came by, super hot, shot it with the recurve, one shot, turkey flipped over, done. I got my ocellated turkey.
Dude, I got him.
But the story I have to tell you started before I actually even got my turkey. And it was when I was hunting with my buddy Ryan. Me and Ryan were hunting and we were leaned up against trees, and all of a sudden the guide grabs him. The native guide we were hunting with grabs Ryan and he's like, oh, and he's pointing at this ant. Little, I mean, it wasn't tiny ant, it was maybe that big. This ant's going down the tree and he's telling Ryan to get away from the tree. And I'm like, huh? So I'm looking at him like, what's going on? Because I know it's hard to believe I'm not bilingual. I know I look like I probably speak multiple languages, but it's just barely English. So I'm looking at the guy giving him hand signals, like, oh, what's the problem with this thing? And this guy's like, points at the ant, and he goes, this is literally what he does. He points at the ant, points at me, and he goes, ant, which I took to mean if the ant bites me, and he goes, I look at him, I'm like, what? And Ryan starts laughing. I think he just said, if that ant bites you, you're going to cry. And I'm like, what? And he goes, oh. And he's trying to explain this to us, that this ant's really bad news. So we go back to camp, and the outfitter's there. And I said, what's the deal with this ant? He goes, what? I said, yeah, there was an ant coming down. Oh, he said it was probably a bullet ant. Now, I'm not making this up. If y'all want to look this up, please do. Look up how bad a bullet ant bite is. Now, at this time, I did not have Google in the Yucatan Peninsula. I couldn't Google it up, but I was like, there's no way I'm going to cry. I told the outfitter, I said, listen, you tell these guys, because there was multiple, guides, native guides around there. And I said, tell these guys that I'll let one of those ants bite me and I don't think I'm going to cry. All of them start laughing. And he goes, they're excited. I said, what do you mean they're excited? He goes, Fred, we've had some crazy requests from clients, but nobody's ever, been willing to get bit by a bullet ant. He said, so if you get your ocellated turkey, they're willing. I'm like, yeah, let me get my turkey first, but then I'll do it. Well, as soon as I get my turkey, let me tell you, these guys were excited. They scattered out in the jungle looking for some bullet ants. They come back with bullet ants. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready to take this. Let's do it. And they shook it out on my arm. And now it's hot. It's a jungle, sweaty. This thing bites me, wham! And I was like, oh! And then it bites me again, wham! It like bites me multiple times. And all these native guides are watching and laughing, and they think it's hysterical. Ow! Yeah, that stinks. Hey. Yeah, he got me. Look at that rascal, he's got me. Woo! All right, that's enough of that. That does sting. The only way I can describe it, not the smartest, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I shouldn't let this stupid thing bite me. But it felt like somebody, if you heated up the end of a nail over a fire to where it was red hot and somebody just held the tip of it on your skin, that's pretty much what it felt like for, 24 hours. So I'm soaking it up though. I'm like, I got it. I got this. So I said, hey, I'm not crying. And my guide's standing right there. So my guide translates to him. He said, Fred says he's not crying. And the native guide says something to him, and everybody starts laughing. I said, what did he say? He said he's pretty sure you're crying on the inside. You got me there. I was definitely crying on the inside.
I'll know what it is if one stings me in the woods again, though. I'll tell you what, that's a little stinger.